Power of Mordor! The Power of Mordor deck! The Power of Mordor deck! All right, here we go with Lord of the Rings, the card game, the Temple of Doom. All right, the Forgotten Temple. There's a lot to go through on this card. We're just going to go through it together. So the first thing we got to do is make a randomized deck of stage 2s. So I've put a token on each of them, and I'm putting the tokens in the bag. So when we have to go to a random one, we just grab a random token. The Power of Mordor deck is here. This thing sucks, the 2020 of Encounter decks. It's just terrible. These cards are all terrible, and you reveal them randomly. So you have no idea what you're going to be up against. You have no idea the order in which they're going to come out, which one you will see, which one you won't. So it's really hard to plan for what this quest will throw at you. And the odds are you're going to see at least 2, probably 3. So we're also going to be adding the Tribute to Mordor to the staging area. That's going to get a damage token, at least 1 a round. And then at the end of the round, if there's ever 4 or more there, that's when we reveal one of these Power of Mordor cards. And then look who's back, Thane Alcar. Or as you may remember him, Lord Elcaron. So he has X threat, 50 engagement, 6 attack, 4 defense, 9 hit points, Mordor traded, indestructible, immune. X is 1 more than the number of quest stages in the victory display. He cannot be engaged unless X is equal to 5, and then forced. When Thane Alcar attacks and destroys a character, place 1 damage token on Tribute to Mordor. Caleb has said bringing Lord Elcaron back for this final cycle is one of his favorite story mechanics that he incorporated into the game. Okay, 1B, no quest points needed. Skip the quest phase. Well, that's nice. Then, at the end of the planning phase, place 1 resource here. When there are 2 resources here, we're going to add this quest stage to the victory display. We get a free round? That's good news, right? Nope. Treat that as a warning that the quest you're about to play is super duper hard. So we are bringing the power. We got Gandalf. So 14 threat, 3, 3, 3, 5. Istari, neutral. Play with the top card of your deck face up. Once per phase, you may play the top card of your deck as if it was in your hand. When playing a card this way, Gandalf is considered to have the printed leadership, lore, tactics, and spirit icons. Also bringing Elrond. Yeah, we're not messing around. 13 threat, 3, 2, 3, 4. Noldor Noble, lore. You may spend resources from Elrond's resource pool to pay for spirit, leadership, and tactics allies. Response. After a character is healed by another card effect, heal 1 damage on it. And then our final hero, so I can have all 3 rings in play at the same time, is Galadriel. She's spirit, 9 threat, 4 willpower, 0, 0, 4 hit points. Noldor Noble. Galadriel cannot quest, attack, or defend. Allies you control do not exhaust to commit to the quest during the round they enter play, and then we can take an action to exhaust Galadriel to choose a player. That player reduces his threat by 1 and draws 1 card, limit once per round. So yeah, this quest is super duper hard, so you're going to have to bring a powerful deck, and I knew at some point in this series I wanted to play a Gandalf Elrond deck just to show how crazy powerful it is. This series been trying to show as many different types of decks there are, and sometimes you just want to bring the power. And this is a great quest for it, because this quest is super duper hard. I want to remind everybody of a combo you can do with a couple cards. So if you have Expert Treasure Hunter and Hidden Cache and Wizard Pipe, you can do a repeatable thing where if Hidden Cache is on top of your deck, you know it's on top of your deck because Gandalf plays with that card face up. You quest successfully, you say event, you discard the top card of your deck, and because it's an event, it will come into your hand, and because you discarded Hidden Cache, you get to place 2 resources on any hero you want. And then if you have Wizard Pipe, you can exhaust Wizard Pipe and put Hidden Cache right back on top of your deck at the start of the next quest phase. So you can do that every single round, giving 2 resources to any hero, which makes it better than Steward because you can put the resources anywhere. I don't have room for it in this deck because I really need to get this fellowship going as fast as possible. So I just wanted to remind everybody just how cool that combo is. Okay, speaking of the Fellowship, I am going to use this contract. So side A, you cannot play non-unique allies or put non-unique allies into play. And then when you control exactly 9 unique characters, flip this card over. Side B, you cannot play allies or put allies into play. Each character you control gets +1 willpower, attack, and defense. If a character leaves play, flip this card over. So 3 powerful heroes means a starting threat of 36. That's pretty high. So yeah, how are we going to beat this thing? Well, we get a free turn, so you don't want to miss out on that opportunity. So bring heroes that have to exhaust to do stuff. So Barivor would be a good hero because you're not going to use her that first round. Guarded cards could be good. You could get an enemy or a location. You just travel to the location with never having to quest over it. Or if it's guarded by an enemy, you engage the enemy and kill it because you're only skipping the quest phase. But I'm bringing Galadriel because she can draw me a card and drop my threat. If I get Vilya on Elrond, I can exhaust him to get a card in for free. And if I can't find Vilya in my opening hand, I have 3 copies of Word of Command, so I can exhaust Gandalf to find Vilya. So that is why I have brought this hero lineup against a quest that gives me a free first round. Captain's Wisdom is also a good card to put in a deck where you get a free first round. All right, let's find Vilya. That's really all I need in my opening hand. So Light of Valinor, yep, that's good. Test of Will, good. Test of Will, good. Shadowfax, fine. Elfhelm is great for this quest. There's a ring, but it's the wrong one, so shuffle that away. One of the Power of Mordor cards makes you raise your threat every time you draw a card, so Elfhelm is great for that. And then one of the quest stages makes you discard cards off the top of your deck, and then you have to discard cards from your hand and in play that match the title of any card you discarded. So this deck is full of one-ofs, which makes it a very good Fellowship deck since you have to put in unique allies anyway. So it's just full of a lot of one-ofs, and any card I have 3 of, I have deemed absolutely essential to the deck. All right, let's see what we find. Our top card is Thalion, and hey, Vilya, right there. All right, we got it. And then a Test of Will, Daron's Runes, Haldir, Daron's Runes, and a way to find my pipe with Bilbo. It's a great opening hand. Really good. Okay, we're ready to start this game. So we get a free turn. So let's go. 36. 1 resource on each of my heroes. We draw a Thalion. And nice. Okay, Eorith is on top of my deck. So a nice free unique ally. I tried to put in enough cheap unique allies to get me to 9, but I needed my allies to be pretty powerful, and there's a lot of allies I left out that I wanted to include, but it's, I only could put so many in the deck. All right, Daron's Runes is going to draw me Eorith, and there's Word of Command if I hadn't had Vilya, so I could find it, and then Sulian is on top of my deck. All right, she's a really nice ally. So we're going to do a lot of stuff. Vilya costs 2 resources, neutral. Elrond gains a spirit resource icon, and then you can exhaust Elrond and Vilya to put the top card of your deck into play for free. If you can't, it goes on the bottom of your deck. That's what makes Gandalf so great, because we know what card it is, and we get Sulian. So she's going to cost us nothing. She quests for 3. You can spend a lore resource to reduce the threat of locations in the staging area. Yep, so she's going to be great. Once we get the Fellowship online, she'll be questing for 4. Okay, the next card on top of our deck is Gimli. I was going to have Galadriel draw me that, but I think actually I don't want Gimli in my hand. I want to keep my expensive allies in my deck for Vilya. I will use Word of Command, which lets me exhaust an Astari character and search my deck. So I spend the lore resource, and now let's search my deck for a card and add it to my hand. I don't actually know what I want, because I already have Bilbo, so I can find Wizard Pipe with Bilbo in my hand. So what card do I actually want here? Lemus is good. Elfhelm would be good, and he's easier to afford from my hand. I could get a cheap ally into play to get me closer. Let's see. Shadowfax would be nice. Readying. I mean, Gandalf has a couple toys that he wouldn't mind, like his staff. I could also get a Light of Valinor for Elrond. That could be good. I have good options. Oh, I could also get Gandalf's ring, Narya. See, the thing is, I don't know which stage 2 I'm going against, so I might go against one that makes me discard cards, and I might have to discard Narya or something if I randomly discard it. So I'm trying to think of what card I absolutely want to get in play. to make sure I don't discard it. And even though I have 2 copies of Narya, I think if I grab one, the odds are I'm not going to discard the other to the quest card effect and then have to discard my other copy of Narya from play, or my hand. So yeah, I think I'll take Narya for Gandalf. Okay, and then let's flip over the top card, and this is great, it's Nenya. So anytime there's a card on top of my deck that I can't use Vilya for, or I don't want to because it's not expensive enough, and I can draw it, it's great because I'd rather just play that from my hand. And Narya gets on top of my deck. Well, all right, I have Daron's Runes, so let's play that. And 2 cards we get are Lembas and Narya, and then Lembas is next. Wonderful. I like drawing the cards that are cheap, and I like leaving the expensive cards in my deck for Elrond and Vilya to use. So this is going to be pretty cool. I'm going to get all 3 rings into play at some point. And then finally, the last thing we're going to do during this planning phase is play Eorith. So you can exhaust her after spending a lore resource and heal 3 damage on somebody, up to. And with Elrond, it's actually 4. Okay, we place a resource token on the quest. We place a damage token on the tribute to Mordor. And then we go into the next round, and now our top card is Vilya. And that's actually a good thing, because if I can get these Vilyas out of my deck, I don't have a risk of losing the one I have in play if I go to that stage 2. So let's use Galadriel, drop my threat by 1, draw a card, and now the top card of my deck is Quick Beam. That's nice because he only costs 2, so I can use Gandalf's ability to play the top card of my deck. So he will spend a resource, and so will Elrond, and we will put Quick Beam into play, and I will put a damage on Quick Beam so he is ready. So he has amazing stats. He'll be able to quest for 3 and attack for 4 once I'm got my Fellowship online. Let's put that token on Gandalf to say I played a card off the top of my deck this phase. And now the card on top of my deck is Elrond's Council, which I should be able to play in the quest phase. So Gandalf's ability is limit once per phase. Let's see. So I have a spirit resource to my name, and I'm going to hold on to it for Test of Will. So we're going into the first real round of the game with 6 of the 9 Fellowship. And Elrond and Vilya I still have not used, so hopefully there's a nice ally under that Elrond's Council. All right, that goes into the victory display, which means Thane Alcar is going to be 2 threat. And let's go to a random stage 2. The one I pull out is the purple confusion symbol. Okay, so we're going to go to this stage 2. They all say the same thing on their side A side, and that is reveal 1 encounter card per player. So the encounter card we get is Fanaticism. So you have to attach it to an Easterling enemy with the lowest defense without a copy of this. Otherwise it gains Surge. Okay, luckily we don't have an Easterling enemy in play right now. And you know, I was going to not include that Temple of Doom clip because I'm like, that's kind of gory. But then, I mean, look at that art. So, yeah, that's fine. All right, we get Crumbling Passage. It's 5 threat. That's bad, but we have to make it the active location. And when it leaves play, we need to deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. So that's pretty nasty, but at least we added no threat to the staging area. All right, let's flip over, and we have the Lord of Middle-earth. I don't know about that. All right, this stage gets +4 quest points per player, and then at the beginning of the quest phase, we get to choose and discard a card from our hand, and the cost of that card is how many progress we are allowed to place on the quest stage. And then all the quest cards say, if there are 4 or more quest stages in the victory display, progress cannot be placed on this stage. So one of these quest stages we're going to get stuck with. When you are in the final stages of this game, you will have the same stage 2 as your active stage 2 for a couple rounds. All right, during the quest phase, I am going to play Elrond's Council and drop my threat by 3, and somebody gets +1 willpower. Let's say it is Quick Beam, and now I need to discard I need to discard a card from my hand to determine how much progress I'm allowed to make, and my top card of the deck is Yazan. Quick Beam does not exhaust to quest, so Sulian will quest for 3, so that's a total of 5. I'm just trying to count how much willpower I can actually send, and then that'll help me determine if I can even make any progress. I think 2 is probably the most progress I can make because I have to chew through a 3 progress location, so I'll just discard a card that has 2 resource costs. So let's get rid of this other copy of Vilya. And I'm allowed to make 2 progress. And I am sending a total of 9. We are up against 2. I don't want to use Elrond and Vilya yet because there is a treachery that could make Thane Alcar attack me, or I could engage an enemy and get attacked. But instead we get the Hall of Horrors. So it is X threat, where X is equal to 1 more than the number of cards in the victory quest cards in the victory display. So that is a 2 threat location. So we're up against 4. Looks like I did it right, because 3 will go on the active location, and then 2 will go on the quest, which was all I was allowed. So let's do that. And now I need to deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. All right, there we go. Damage is dished out. And now I can trigger Elrond and Vilya and put Yazan into play. He is incredible. He's a 2/3/1/3 Harad Ranger, and then after he's declared an attacker, I deal 1 damage to a non-unique enemy in play. Doesn't matter where that enemy is, I just deal damage to it. So that's amazing, and it's 1 more ally towards our 9, and yes, Light of Valinor is now my top card, so that's great. Let's travel to the Hall of Horrors, and scanning the board, I think everything is good, so we're going to flip that token over. So now we're at 2. Once it hits 4, we got to reveal one of those red cards. Everyone gets a resource. Everyone readies. And we draw the Light of Valinor. And now the top card is Unexpected Courage. Okay. Oh, you know what? And something I want to mention. Now that we're at this point in the progression series, I mean, progression really doesn't matter at this point, but the 2-player starter set is available, which means I now have 3 copies of pretty much every card. So the 2-player starter set gets me my 3 copies of certain cards that I've only had 1 or 2 copies of this entire series. So there's really no deck building restrictions at all at this point, except for a few APs to go. Alrighty, let's spend 2 resources to put in this Unexpected Courage, and then let's spend my final 2 resources to put in Bilbo, and then Bilbo will let me search my deck for a Wizard's Pipe. There it is. Wizard's Pipe lets you do some rearranging of a card in your hand with the top card of the deck. And then, yeah, let's see what our next new top card is. If it's an ally, we'll be able to hit the Fellowship. So we're hoping we have a nice ally on top of the deck so Elrond and Vilya can put it in play, and we get Lembas. But the good news is I still have Galadriel, so I have 1 more shot at this. So Galadriel can exhaust and reduce my threat by 1, and I draw Lembas. Come on, nice big ally. It's not a big one, but it's a good one. It's Arwen and Domiel. So that will be my 9th ally, and look at what I have in my hand. 3 Lembas and Light of Valinor. So I'm still going to have cards to play, so that's great. All right, Vilya and Elrond exhausts. Elrond pops back up with Unexpected Courage. Arwen's going to come into play. When she exhausts, she will be giving a defensive boost to somebody. And that's 9, so we are flipping the Fellowship. Bum, 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 bum. Everybody has extra stats. So everybody now has +1 willpower, attack, and defense. So yeah, let's go. Let's smash this quest. So at the beginning of the quest phase, I need to discard a card so I can place progress. Since I can't play allies anymore, I'll get rid of Haldir. So that says I'm allowed to place 4, but I only need 2 at this point. And I have an active location I have to get through. But let's see. Arwen and Bilbo both came into play this round, so they don't exhaust a quest. So that's 6 willpower right there between the 2 of them. And then let's see. Sulian will be questing for 4, so that's 10. And Yazan will make it 13. So 13 against 2. Yeah, that seems pretty good. All right, 13 against 2. And the card we reveal is... Okay, we get our first enemy. It's a Warrior of Rune. So he's 3 threat. So that's 5. So we're going to clear the active location. And then we're going to clear the quest stage. So the active location leaves play first. So now we have to deal 2 damage to somebody. So we'll put 2 damage on Galadriel. I have all those Lembas, so I can heal her. And then this gets cleared, gets added to the victory display. Thane Alcar is now 1 more threat. And we go to a random stage 2. So shake, shake, reach in the bag, and we pull out the yellow stun token. So it's going to be the middle one. Whenever you are going to advance, you always got to be prepared for the second encounter card, because like I said, they all say reveal 1 encounter card per player. So you got to be ready for it. And yep, okay, so we get Alkar's Rage. So now Thane Alkar is going to attack us. Okay, I will defend. Oh, man. So, of course, it happens on the turn where Arwen did not exhaust yet to boost somebody's defense. I just remembered I should have flipped over that top card. It's Furial. Okay, I'm getting attacked. Everybody has +1 defense. I played this quest quite a bit to get ready for this video, and I think the most a shadow can boost it by is 1, 2 if it has an attachment, if the enemy has an attachment. So Elrond will defend, and no shadow. Okay, so Elrond handled that no problem. He takes a couple damage. And so that was nice that all that card did was make us have to have an attack, to be honest. It really wasn't the worst. Okay, so now we have Memory of the Dark Years, 12 progress needed. And then at the beginning of the quest phase, we have to discard X cards, where X is 1 more than the number of quest stages in the victory display. And then we add 2 threat to the staging area for every card type discarded this way. So, I mean, geez, if that was your 4th quest stage, you could be adding 8 threat every time. That's terrible. Okay, so that's our new quest stage we have to get through. Let's go into combat. We're going to get attacked by the Warrior of Rune, and he's going to grab the topmost Easterling Treachery in the discard pile. And we do have one. It's Fanaticism, so that is going to give him +1 to his stats, not hit points, and then he's also immune to player card effects. So if I chumped with Bilbo, I could then use Wizard Pipe to put Furial on top of my deck and get my Fellowship right back online again. But I wouldn't have enough attack power to kill him, because by losing Bilbo, I lose the boost. So let's not engage him yet. So I think I'll leave him up there. I really only want him to attack once, and then we kill him the same round. So let's add our 3rd damage token to the Tribute to Mordor, and we will go into the next round. I can't play allies anymore, but I have lots of attachments I want to get in play. So I draw a Furial, and my top card is another Word of Command. Don't really need that either. The first attachment I want to get in play is Narya, so we're going to attach this to Gandalf. He's going to now have the Leadership resource icon, and then I can exhaust Narya and Gandalf to ready up to 2 allies. Each of those allies will get +1 to their attack and defense for the phase, so that's going to help me kill some stuff. Let's trigger Galadriel. We'll drop my threat. I'm going to draw this Word of Command and see what comes up on top of the deck. Maybe it's something I can use Vilya for. Hey, it is. All right, it's Gandalf's staff. So after the quest phase, I'll get Gandalf's staff into play. That sounds good. I don't need it right now, and I want to keep Elrond ready in case he needs to defend again, because he has that lore resource icon, so he can use Eorith, and then he also has the spirit icon, so he can use his resource for a test of will. So I'm just kind of leaving him ready to handle whatever comes up. All right, beginning of the quest phase, we got to discard 3 cards. We get 2 enemies and a location, so that's going to be 4 threat, and then +3/+3, so we're up against 10. So we're up against a lot of threat. We got to make 12 progress, so that's a lot. So let's see. Arwen is going to boost Elrond, so she's questing for 3. Sulian for 4. Elrond will quest for 4. So that's 11. Let's see. I have Narya in play, so I can exhaust more allies than I think, because I can ready them. So there's 3 more with Yazan, and I'm just trying to make sure I have enough attack power to kill this Warrior of Rune, even after I use Gandalf to do some readying of these allies. So if I send Bilbo, that puts me at 17. So 17 against 10. Yeah, okay, so I kind of forgot that this could happen. So we get a side quest, Lost in the Dark. It's 8 progress. When revealed, we're going to place the top 10 cards of our deck face down under our threat dial without looking at them. And then when the stage is defeated, we shuffle all cards under my threat dial back into my deck. Forced, after I raise my threat by any amount, I discard the top card from underneath my threat dial. Basically, I'm never seeing these cards again. I don't have time to clear a side quest, and this quest says quest stages in the victory display increase the X value. So side quests don't count because they're not quest stages. I'm just going to throw them right there. I'll try to keep all my end of round stuff up in the staging area. Okay, now the top card of my deck is Prince Imrahil, which is actually not bad. And the great thing is that side quest, it doesn't have Surge, which is kind of crazy. So we do make 7 progress, which is really good. All right, let's engage that Warrior of Rune. He grabs the topmost Easterling Treachery, which is the Fanaticism. So he will now be +1 to his stats and immune. So that makes him a little harder to kill. And he gets a Shadow. And now I'm going to use Gandalf and Narya. And what I'm going to do is ready Bilbo and Yazan. They each get +1 attack and defense. But mainly, I want to do this so I can, unfortunately, kill Bilbo. That's what's really great about Elrond and Vilya. So Bilbo is going to defend. Attacking enemy gets +1, +2 if there's an attachment. There's that shadow I was talking about earlier. So Bilbo is dead, and we have lost the benefit of the contract. So now we're back on side A, but because we can now put in an ally, I can Elrond Vilya in Prince Imrahil, and we go right back into the Fellowship. So that is really awesome, and I have a better ally. So Bilbo came in, did what he needed to do, and then I was able to swap him out basically for a better ally. Yazan's attacking for 5, and then 3 from Imrahil, 4 from Quick Beam, and we kill that Warrior of Rune, so that is really excellent. Let's exhaust Eorith and spend that lore resource to heal Galadriel, so she's all healed up. And now let's make sure we get this right. I readied everybody, and now I'm going to raise my threat. Because I raised my threat, I have to get rid of a card from that side quest. It's also going to put the 4th damage token on Tribute to Mordor. If there are 4 or more damage tokens on Tribute to Mordor at the end of the round, we remove 4, and we look at the top card here, and it's the Armies of Mordor. Okay, so here is our first Power of Mordor card. Forced, after a non-unique enemy engages the player, that enemy cannot take damage until the end of the round. That's a trigger that's hard to remember. I'm going to put this card hopefully in a spot that helps me remember that if I engage somebody, I can't kill it right away. I have definitely played games with that card in play and forgotten all about it. So I'm going to put it right there. Now we're going to collect resources. I'm going to draw the Word of Command that was on top of my deck. My next card is Elfhelm. Haven't missed him yet. I'm glad the Power of Mordor card that we flipped isn't the one that makes me raise my threat like crazy. Okay. Fellowship decks, once you have it up and running, you don't play a lot of cards, but I do have some attachments I want to get in. So let's play Wizard's Pipe, and I'll put that on Gandalf so you can exhaust it to swap a card in your hand with a card on top of your deck. So I'm going to use Wizard Pipe to swap Elfhelm for this Light of Valinor that I have in my hand. So now we can play the top card of my deck, or I can Vilya it in. So I'm going to use Vilya. And I'm going to get Light of Valinor on Elrond, so he will not exhaust to commit to the quest. Now we have Henemarth on top of my deck. And yeah, let's call that good. I'm going to keep that resource for a Test of Will or to use Eorith. So we're up against 3 at the moment, and then I'm supposed to discard cards right now. I kind of forgot about that. So I'm going to discard cards in a minute. So each of the allies are questing for +1 willpower. And Elrond is not exhausting to quest, so that will be a total of 17. And here we go. I'm like, wait, nope. So there's a location, treachery, location. Okay, so we got to add 4 more threat, 2 per card type. So we are up against 7. And the actual card we reveal, treachery, Place of Evil. When revealed, place 1 damage token on Tribute to Mordor, then either place an additional damage token on Tribute to Mordor, or this gains Surge. Yeah, this is one you cancel because you do not want those damage tokens to pile up. So that is why Test of Will is in this deck. I want to get rid of that. Wait, why did I put a damage token on there? The Test of Will cancels the whole card. Alright, I made the quest harder on myself. I should not have placed a damage token on there at all if I was canceling it. Oh well, okay, we do clear that quest stage, so now X equals 4, so we're 1 away, and now we randomly advance to a stage 2, so let's grab our next token, give it a little shakety shake, and the token we get is the green one. So as always, we have to reveal an encounter card, so let's see what we get. Okay, once again, we're getting attacked by Thane Ulkar, So, let's see. Elrond is currently defending for 5, thanks to Arwen, and I think the most Thane can get boosted by is 1, because he doesn't have an attachment. So he's going to defend, and attacking enemy gets +2 defense. All right, no problem. So I take a damage on Elrond. So pretty much a repeat of what happened the last time we advanced to a stage 2. Let's look at side B. We have the Legacy of Mordor, 8 progress needed, forced. At the beginning of the quest phase, each player deals 1 damage to a hero he controls and exhausts that hero. That hero cannot ready or be healed until the refresh phase. And then, of course, while there's 4 quest stages of victory display, progress cannot be placed here. That's a really nasty one to get first or last, because if it's your first quest and you're having trouble getting through it, you're constantly dealing damage to a hero, and that hero can't help you quest or do anything. And if it's the last one you get, then you might be stuck here for a few rounds, constantly dealing damage to a hero. So, nasty. Okay, end of the round stuff about to happen, but I can use Galadriel, so let's drop my threat by 1, draw a card. Ooh, Elrond's Council is on top of the deck. And then we're going to place what should be my first damage counter on Tribute to Mordor. Ah, man. My single copy of Flame of Anor. That kind of stinks. That's a good card to have in my pocket if I need a big attack boost. Okay. I am going into the next round. Here we go. I draw Elrond's Council and Faramir on top of the deck. All right, let's get some attachments in play. So I am going to use the Wizard Pipe to put Lembas on top of my deck and put Faramir into my hand. And then because Gandalf can play the top card of your deck, well, all your heroes can play it, but Gandalf allows you to do it, I can spend Gandalf's resource to put Lembas in play. So that's a good use of his resource. Elrond now has some Lembas, so he can heal 4 and ready. Vilya is on top of my deck now. Vilya is not as important anymore. I mean, I already got my Fellowship in play. And now I'm going to play Nenya on Galadriel, so she's going to get the lore resource icon, and then you can exhaust her and Nenya to add her willpower to another character's willpower in the quest phase to the end of the phase. So I'm going to give her ring. So we've managed to get all 3 Elven Rings of Power into play. That's pretty cool. And now I got to do the quest effect. So I'm going to exhaust her and deal a damage to her, and she cannot ready or be healed until the refresh phase. So hopefully we get through this thing in one go. I am up against 4 threat at the moment. And if I send most of my allies and Elrond without exhausting him, I am sending a total of 17 to the quest. So we only need to make 8 progress. So this should be fine. 4 against 17. And the card we get, okay, it's the Place of Evil again, but this time no test of will. So I really can't screw it up. And I did make the mistake of putting the extra damage counter on Tribute to Mordor, but this card adds 2. So at the end of the round, I would have added the 4th counter anyway. So I would have revealed the next Power of Mordor card this round no matter what. Okay, so now Thane Olkar has 5 for his X value, which means we are allowed to engage him and attack him. Let's not forget this Armies of Mordor card. I've kind of forgot about it, but I haven't had an enemy engage me since we have had it. Okay, time to reveal an encounter card per player. So here we go. Are we getting attacked by Thane Olkar again? No, we get Olkar's Guard, a 2/4/1/5, and then while Thane Olkar is engaged with a player, this Guard also engages the same player. Kind of annoying because it attacks for 4, but it's not the worst enemy. All right, let's look at the Shrine to Sauron. 16 progress needed to complete. Forced. At the beginning of the quest phase, each player discards the top X cards of his deck, where X is 1 more than the number of quest stages in the victory display. Each player examines the cards he controls and the cards in his hand. If any of those cards are copies of any of the cards he just discarded from the top of his deck, he must discard those copies as well. So can you imagine if that's your first quest stage you reveal? You're going to have to get through 16 progress, which is going to take quite a while, and then you could constantly be discarding cards you've already put in play or you have in hand to help you. That's why you want to bring a deck that's just a bunch of one-ofs. Only have one-ofs of lots of your different allies, and then hopefully you're not constantly losing ground with your board state. Just really terrible. And so we're going to be stuck here until we win. That is our current quest stage. We cannot place progress on that quest stage. So what we need to do now is, first of all, we have to engage Ulkar's Guard, and we're also going to optionally engage Thane Ulkar. So Ulkar's Guard cannot take damage this round, but if we can deal 9 damage to Thane Ulkar, we're allowed to place progress on Tribute to Mordor, the next quest stage. So Thane Ulkar is attacking for 6, and the Guard is attacking for 4. So Elrond's going to defend the Guard, and then he's going to use Lembas in the action window after he's declared a defender to ready, and he's going to heal all the way up. So Elrond is currently defending for 5 against 4, and the shadow is discard the top card of the encounter deck. If it's an enemy, add it to the staging area. It is an enemy, okay, so we just added 3 threat to the staging area. That's not great. I was really hoping to have only 1 card in the staging area to quest over. And then now Thane Ulkar is attacking for 6, so we're going 6 against 5. Elrond defends. In the action window, he's going to ready. And we get, attacking enemy gets +1/+2 if it has an attachment. So Elrond's going to take a couple damage. I wanted to make sure to ready him before I revealed that shadow, because there are shadows that say the defending character can't ready. Alright, so let's deal 9 damage to Thane Ulkar. We can't damage the Guard, and we don't have to win. So Gandalf will ready, Imrahil and Yazan, so they're both boosted again. So between Yazan's 5 attack, Imrahil's 4, Quick Beam has 4, and then Elrond is also ready, and he could attack, but we have enough. So we are able to deal 9 damage to Thane Ulkar. So because Thane Ulkar has no hit points remaining, we can quest against Tribute to Mordor. So we just need to put 12 progress on Tribute to Mordor, and we will be able to win. Eorth will heal Elrond, and then at the end of the round here, so we raise our threat, everybody readies, and now we're going to have to reveal another Power of Mordor card. I'm just moving that one out of the way, so I know I could attack and kill the Guard if I wanted to, but hopefully we don't have any more combat phases. Hopefully we're going to win in the quest phase. So after everybody readies, we're going to get rid of the top card from underneath that quest. Okay, it's Elfhelm. Haven't had to worry about that. And now we would place a damage counter and then remove 4. So the next Power of Mordor card is the Tower of Barad-dûr. It's 5 threat. It's immune. We can't travel there. And then our threat elimination level is reduced by 5. Makes the One Ring really dangerous to bring to this quest. So, gosh darn it. So, we added the 3 threat enemy, and now we've added a 5 threat location. And that's me remembering that Yazan, when he was declared an attacker, he could have dealt a damage to another enemy in play. So I just dealt the damage up there. But, yeah, gosh darn it. We've added 8 threat up into the staging area. And I was really hoping to only have 1 card being revealed, and that's all we'd have to quest over. So that's a lot of threat up in staging, and we have to make 12 progress. And the good news is, though, I can use Galadriel and Nenya, because we are at a different stage 2. This stage 2 is just going to make me discard 5 cards off the top of my deck, and then discard any copies. But luckily, all my allies are 1-ofs, so I know I'm not going to lose any allies, and I think all my attachments are also in play, and there's no other copies in the deck, because most of those were 1-ofs. So I'm just going to put some Lembas in play, and now we need to discard the top 5 cards of my deck at the beginning of the quest phase. So let's make sure we do that. So on top of my deck right now is Legolas, and then Halbrand, Adaron's Runes, Gimli, and Elfhelm. Okay, well, I actually do have Elfhelm in my hand, so let's get rid of that. So there he goes. And now we can play this Elrond's Council. So let's drop my threat by 3, and we will give +1 willpower somewhere. Let's give it to Eorth. So I'm going to send everybody, even Eorth, and Elrond doesn't exhaust a quest. Galadriel will add her willpower, which is 5, to, let's say, Eorth. So Eorth is questing for 7. And let's make the 12 progress we need to win here. We're currently questing against 8. We are sending 31, and we need to make 12 progress. Okay, hopefully our final card of the game is Fearful Shadows. Doomed 1, when revealed, until the end of the round, treat the printed text box of all characters as if they were blank, except for traits. I don't think that actually affects any of my willpower. So we added no threat. So that means our 31 against 8 lets us place, wrong quest card, Chad, lets us place 12 progress on Tribute to Mordor, and that means we have won. Okay, so Thane Alcar had no hit points remaining. Tribute to Mordor has no quest points remaining. That is a victory. That is a very hard quest. There's always lots to remember because all these different stage 2s and all these different Power of Mordor cards really change what's happening within the game, so you really have to keep focused. It's easy to forget which cards you have in play and what effects are currently active and which ones aren't. But anyway, if you want to beat this quest, you're going to have to bring a powerful deck to beat it. It's extremely hard, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.